Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had a wonderful Wednesday. Today we're going to be diving into our daily Cardano video, and we have got a lot to share with you. I'm going to try and keep this video as short and sweet as I can, but there is a lot happening right now. There's a lot happening within the world. There's a lot happening within the crypto space. We're going to be going over it all in this video. We are going to be looking at the crypto market. We're going to be talking, for those of you that missed my earlier video, about what really triggered the current rally that we're seeing within the crypto space. We know that Biden essentially is set to release or sign an executive order to regulate the cryptocurrency market. And essentially, Janet Yellen had let slip some details regarding this, showing that in actual fact, a lot of this executive order may go in cryptocurrency's favor. May go in the cryptocurrency industry's favor and sort of further the clarity needed to see further adoption for crypto at large. So we'll be talking about that very quickly at the start. We have got a lot to get into. We are going to be talking about the price. Of course, we'll look at Bitcoin very quickly. We're going to be talking about Minswap. And at the end of the video, I will show you guys how to really use Minswap. Minswap is another DEX that has launched on top of the Cardano blockchain. And it's a DEX that I actually really like. They've got this feature here called Zap, or Zap In, which is what you essentially do, which means that you can provide one side of a liquidity pair. So usually when you provide liquidity to a DEX, for example, if you wanted to provide Cardano ADA against Cardano, which is a DeFi protocol building on top of Cardano, you would have to provide $100 worth of Cardano and $100 worth of Dana, the Cardano token, which would essentially allow people to trade back and forth. That's how providing liquidity works on a DEX. With, or most DEX is an AMM. With Minswap, they're essentially allowing you to provide one side of that pair, so you don't need to provide both tokens, just the one. And of course, you can sort of farm liquidity via doing this. So it's quite a unique feature. I'll very quickly fly through it all at the end of the video, just to give you guys a real introduction and a quick overview of just how to use it. Starting from connecting your wallet to trading to adding liquidity. And everything in between very quickly at the end of the video. We're going to be talking about, of course, the DeFi space. Now, I'm sure there's lots of people, and I always get a question, okay, well, why is TERRA Luna doing as well as it is? And the answer really has a lot to do with their DeFi space, and more importantly, the stable coin within it, their TUSD or TERRA UST. This stable coin, in terms of market cap, has nearly half of Cardano's entire market cap in it. You can see down here, guys, we've got 14.1 billion dollars just within this stablecoin. The entire market cap of Cardano is 28.5 billion. So nearly half of Cardano's entire market cap is within a single stablecoin. This has really allowed their DeFi space, which currently has a total value locked of $25.7 billion, to absolutely flourish. This is around the corner for Cardano, with the likes of DJed, with the likes of a number of other stablecoins, whether that be what Liquid are doing, whether that be what Cardano are doing. It is coming, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a case of sitting tight. And yes, we are seeing other, there is a lot going on. I've seen quite a few people actually try to FUD and discredit Luna. Yes, there is definitely an argument that it is quite a heavily invested by VC, venture capitalist funds, blockchain, but they have got quite a bit going on with their DeFi space. And I'll really talk to you about just why it is. And we've mentioned this in the likes of Uniswap. We'll look at two of their top dexes. We've got this dex here, which is Astroport, and we've got TerraSwap. And if you look at these, the majority of liquidity that's actually provided, the majority of total value locked, is either in a USDT or T pair, a stablecoin pair, or is a stablecoin itself, whether that be the likes of Anchor and a number of other things. So we'll get into all that, really give you a glimpse of what's coming for Cardano. Cardano only has $252 million in terms of total value locked within their DeFi space, but this is going to absolutely explode when we have the likes of stablecoins, and I'll be drilling that home again. We've spoken about it previously on other videos. Let's start, guys. Let's get straight into the video. I always say that, but I always ramble on for 5 minutes before we even get into the video. So the entire market saw a bit of a pump up today. This was really on the back end of what Janet Yellen essentially slipped out. There was a review, if you will, some thoughts that were published that potentially were published on accident. not so sure I believe that really outlined what Janet Yellen had to say about the executive order and really what they were going to do with it. Now, this is a fact sheet. President Biden to sign executive order on ensuring responsible innovation in digital assets. I'll very quickly outline some of the points here and what it's going to entail. Protect US customers, investors, and business. Protect US and global financial stability and mitigate seismic risk. Mitigate the illicit finance and national security risks posed by the illicit use of digital assets. This is an important one, guys. Promote US leadership in technology and economic competitiveness to reinforce US's leadership in the global financial system. Promote equitable access to safe and affordable financial services. Support technical advances and ensure reasonable development and use of digital assets. Explore a US central bank digital currency, which we know is going. So these are the two real ones. Promote the US leadership. They are wanting to lead, by the looks of this, the innovation happening within the cryptocurrency space. Now, we don't know what the bill is going to look like and the outcome of it is going to be. Remember, it's just a bill that is essentially going to task various agencies with coming up with regulatory framework and how they're going to tackle the cryptocurrency market. We don't know what that looks like yet, but from what we've got so far, it certainly looks like we're stepping in the right direction. And we've had the likes of Jerome Powell. Please go and watch my earlier video, by the way, guys, where we talk about, we do daily cryptocurrency market updates. We really spoke about, we played a clip of Jerome Powell likening crypto and what's happening with it to the internet, the railroad industry, and any other kind of technological advancement. And we also had a member of the Senate essentially coming out and saying, look, let's not be those bankers that couldn't quite possibly imagine moving off of a gold standard and using a paper monetary system, which we inevitably did. So that's essentially why we saw crypto do what it did. Essentially, I think you're setting up something like this, where you've got this kind of rising triangle. You've got this floor here that you kind of keep hitting your head up on, and you've got, kind of coiling up within this. Terra Luna, speaking of Terra Luna, actually broke out of something similar to this. So I think, this could be good, or certainly the start of something bigger for crypto. But you have to remember a lot of what we spoke about yesterday in regards to macroeconomics and everything that's taking place. What's happening now in the world and what it could potentially cause doesn't really lead, when we talk about recessions and stuff like that, which I'm not saying is definitely going to happen, but there's certainly indications of that, certainly when you look at inflation and commodity prices, isn't the breeding ground for flourishing markets. So I still, and we outlined our look for 2022 in regards to ADA yesterday, do expect some chop. I do expect some uncertainty, some volatility, but ultimately, you guys know my overarching opinion on the matter of the crypto space. I think we have a long way to go. We are very early in what is going to be a technology that gets adopted. If you look at the internet, everybody uses it. If you look at the mobile industry, everybody uses it, or the telephone industry, everybody uses it. Blockchain is on a similar adoption path, and we know already that crypto is the fastest adopted technology to date. We'll leave Minswap to the end of the video. Of course, huge congratulations, by the way, to the Minswap team. They've done a wonderful job, if you ask me. I'm certainly very proud of them. And it's a DEX that I really look forward to using. I've not played around with it too much. You guys know we took part in the liquidity bootstrapping event, which doesn't actually come live until farming comes live on the 15th. But I'm looking forward to farming some 300 to 400% APR yields off of what I put in there. So let's talk very quickly. So lots of people are saying, okay, and Ethereum saw huge beneficiaries, and we've looked at it, or they were a huge beneficiary of DeFi. We've now got Terra doing very well on the back end of it. There is quite a bit going on within the Terra Luna ecosystem, and it really is largely driven by their stablecoins. Cardano is yet to have that, guys. It is on the horizon. It's something we are getting. It's a definite. It's not an if, but a when at this point. And I think it's going to be a huge catalyst to see not only the total value locked within Cardano do very well, but the price. Potentially, I think it's going to do extremely well for the price. Again, Terra Luna seeing huge appreciation from not only their total value look, but the price based on their kind of stable coin. Stable coins, if you look at Terra, if you look at USDT, Tether, and how that has affected the crypto space, having a stable coin within it, it's played a huge role for liquidity. It's bolstered up many cryptocurrencies and allowed liquidity to flow into them and increase the price. A ecosystem-specific stablecoin, whether that be Terra USD or whether that be DUSD for Cardano USD or Jed, is going to do wonderful things for the ecosystem that they represent and are a part of. And we're seeing that become very evident within Terra. If we look at they literally have, just within their DeFi space, mainly based, the vast majority of what's in their total value locked really comes from USDT, which has $14.1 billion in it. Now, that's one of quite a few things that they've got going on. They've got a lot of bonded Luna, which is why we see some of the largest pools. If you look at the pools, if we look at, for example, the largest DEX that they've got, you can see this is B Luna, which is bonded Luna against Luna. Then you've got USDT or UST. I need to stop saying USDT. Sorry, guys. Forgive me for that. UST. You've got ST Luna, which is another form of kind of bonded, if you will, Luna. ST. N Luna. ST. Same with TerraSwap, which is another one of their DEXs. Top liquidity pools, bonded Luna, ST. If you look at Anchor, there's a lot of or UST actually locked in there. So they have a well built out DeFi space, which they're seeing huge beneficiaries, or Terra is a huge beneficiary of that. And that's why we're seeing such growth that we are seeing within them. Yes, there's a lot of people out there that are saying and levying an argument, which I'm not going to get into in this video, that, of course, as it looks to their VCs and people pushing money and artificially pumping certain things up. We know that a lot of UST actually went into the Anchor protocol, which is this one here, to kind of support it and sustain yields because it was on the verge of not doing too well. There is that argument, but ultimately, the product is benefiting from it, and many of the investors accordingly. That's coming for Cardano with a lot of what they've got going on. We are still very early in what is yet an unfinished blockchain. Most blockchains out there are unfinished in the sense that they're still developing. Ethereum moving to ETH2 or whatever their consensus, I'm not sure what they're calling it now. We're still early on this evolution. And that's a reason to be massively bullish, or certainly a reason that I'm massively bullish. And the reason that I bring up Terra is to really show you just what a stablecoin does. And hopefully it's becoming evident now. I don't see too many people talking about this, by the way, even though it's a huge thing. Hopefully it's becoming evident now what a stablecoin does. It's no coincidence when you look at their total value locked, you've seen it go through the roof and the price has gone with it and done very well as a result of it. We've seen this not just for Terra as an ecosystem, multiple. Cardano's got that to come, guys, and it's a reason that I'm certainly super bullish. And we've seen, although there's been quite a few big YouTubers out there try and discredit the fact that large addresses are actually buying Cardano, whale addresses are actually accumulating Cardano. We know that because we can go and look at the evidence on chain. You don't need to take my word for it. You can go and look at the evidence. Look at the wallets with 1 to 10 million Cardano in there, and you'll see that they've increased during this time period. Just like they dumped here, it went like that, and now they're increasing their holdings again. So the price has often been very correlated. In regards to the price currently where we're at, I'm not FOMOing in at this point. You guys know that I dollar cost average into the likes. It's one of the only cryptocurrencies that I still dollar cost average into. There's a few others out there. I still will potentially pick up a little bit of Ethereum. I know that's very taboo to say. A little bit of Bitcoin, not a lot at all. Things like Algo, and of course Cardano is, and a number of other things. Cardano is probably my predominant accumulation bag, and I accumulate consistently. So I'm not looking to FOMO in here necessarily, because we are still in a confirmed downtrend, and we have to break that convincingly. Not only break it and start taking out some of these previous highs, lower highs on the downside, but also really convincingly start putting in more higher highs and higher lows and see that continuation. So apologies if I'm talking fast, guys. I'm just trying to sort of get through all of this because there's just so much going on. It's often quite hard to keep up with everything. But yeah, so we know what the price is doing. I still am anticipating, like we outlined in yesterday's video, quite a bit of chop. But there is an end to this. The chop is really not because the protocol's having issues or the blockchain's having issues, more because the world is having issues, if you will, which we outlined in yesterday's video. Let's talk about Minswap. First of all, huge congratulations, guys. Minswap mainnet is now live. The time has finally come. Minswap mainnet is live. You can now deposit liquidity, swap, and more. So click on this, guys. If you're looking for their website, go to Minswap, and it's at Minswap Dex on Twitter, and you'll find it. You click that, you'll come over here. All you have to do is connect your wallet. You can choose from Duroy, Typhoon, CC Vault, Flint, and of course Nami, which I will use for the purposes of this video. You will then get connected. This is just one of my wallets that I use to demo things. And then you can start playing around. So you can come and look at the liquidity pools. Again, none of these have stable coins in yet, guys. You know, a lot of what makes up the total value locked within Terra is their stable coin. Now, please don't think that I'm taking away from what they've done. They do have some apps that offer some pretty good yields that we can cover if you guys want us to cover them. You know, we do have a Luna wallet. We do have a Solana compatible wallet. You know, we do have, and certainly tinker around and dip our toes in other blockchains. You guys know that I am just ultimately quite a fan of Cardano and what they are doing. And I think a lot of blockchains have already appreciated from what Cardano is yet to appreciate from, if that makes sense. So back to Minswap. You can see you've got your pairs down here. You know, a couple of ways you can do things. At the top here, you've got overview, trade, pool, farm, and orders. So if we go to trade, you'll essentially come and you can see, for example, you've got, if you want to trade and swap between a token, let's say you have 10 ADA or whatever the token is you want to swap. You put it in at the top here. You will then go to the bottom where it says select token, and you will essentially choose a token that you want to swap. We'll use Dana, for example, and you can essentially, for 10 Cardano, you will get 5 Dana. You can then essentially swap. It will give you your details down here and sort of an overview of what you're getting for your money. And that is essentially how you swap. You then click swap, you'll get a pop-up, you'll sign that, and then you'll just have to wait for the transaction to go through, which you'll come over to the top here and be able to see on orders. Pool, add liquidity, and you've got Zap here. You know, you can see the individual pools. If you go to add liquidity, you can then, if we use Dana again, you know, you will essentially have to, if you put 10 Cardano in, you'll have to provide a equal amount of Dana. Now, for those who haven't added liquidity yet, maybe wait for me to do a longer video because there is risks associated with adding liquidity. So how an AMM works essentially is you have to add an equal amount of value for each pair. So 10 Cardano is an equal monetary value to 5.4 Dana. You have to have an equal value at all times. So if the price of Dana goes up, you'll essentially lose Dana because you've only supplied £100 or 10 Cardano's worth of ADA So if you put $100 and $100, if the price of Dana goes up and you have $120 worth of Dana and only $100 worth of ADA, it kicks out essentially $20 worth of, and it adjusts consistently to keep the pool sort of working and being able to trade in and out. And then if you cash out at that time, well, you might have just lost some of your Dana because the pool's had to adjust to it. So maybe wait for me to do a longer video. You also have the Zap feature. So what is the Zap feature? Zap in is an easy way to provide liquidity when you only have one token of the pair. Please note, Zap might cause small amounts of slippage. Absolutely cool, let's Zap. It essentially allows you to add, if you go to the top here, you know, if you put 5 Cardano in, and you can choose what pool you want to provide to. So if we do the Minswap, you can see you'll essentially Zap, and then you'll get your liquidity token in accordance, if that makes sense. So I will do a longer video on this if you guys want me to. This was just really a short and sweet one. I really actually like the interface of it. They've made it very sweet. I like the artwork, but it is an operational and functional DEX that we will potentially, if you guys want me to, and let me know if you do, cover in more detail into the future. So that is really all I have for you in this video, guys. I'm going to love and leave you on that note. If you've enjoyed this content, a like is always appreciated. So is a comment, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you in the next YouTube video. Apologies for the longer video. Just so much to cover that's going on right now. A little bit pushed for time myself as it is. So yeah, that was today's videos, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.